Simon YouTube, and welcome back to Deck Profiles. Today we are heading back to Athens with the second place deck featuring Vespiquen, helmed by Dylan and Bryan. What a fantastic deck this was. Now normally for me, I'm the type of person that heavily recommends consistency and not as many Pokemon to kind of counteract the likelihood of getting something junky. Dylan and Bryan kind of went against all that and used so many utility cards to make something work so beautifully, so well, that I had to showcase this deck. Now, I may not be able to helm this deck properly because I'm obviously not the one who created it, but we're going to see this in two fantastic matches at the end of this. So if you guys want to skip to that, by all means go for it. Now, for those of you who are sticking around, Vespiquen here is a Stage 1 90 HP Grass-type Pokemon with Intelligence Gathering for 1 colorless energy. It's going to do 10 damage, but you get to return your hand back up to 6 cards. Beautiful attack, especially in early game. You also have Be Revenge, which is your most staple attack. The thing that makes Vespiquen so good. 2 colorless energy means just 1 double colorless energy drop for 20 damage, plus 10 more damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. Now obviously we're going to be running a ton of Pokemon, and let's go over that lineup right now. If I can click this thing. There we go. We're just going to start off with Rattata. Nothing too simple. Nothing too out of the norm here. 40 HP, colorless Pokemon, with the ability Mischievous Fang. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may discard all Pokemon tool cards attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. This is a pretty cool effect, because if you do get that Garbodor up in the front line, you can... Well, no, you can't. I lied, because Garbodor has Garbotoxins and kind of negates Rattata. But if they've got a Fighting Fury build, say on a Darkrai, you can get rid of that Fighting Fury build. Beautiful. It's got Bite for 10, but we're never going to use that. Or we're not going to try to. Next up, we've got the Shaman, 110 HP colorless Pokemon with Setup. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may draw your hand back up to 6. It also has Sky Return for 2 colorless energy, 30 damage, and you get to return him and all cards attached to it back to your hand. We only are running one of them. That way we can kind of counterbalance the EX deposition. We'll be always at the better prize pool here. Next up we have Klefki, 70 HP type, not 70 HP type, it's a fairy type, I don't know what I'm saying there, it's a basic. With Wonderlock, once during your turn, you may, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard all the cards attached to it, and by doing so, you can put Klefki onto a Pokemon as their tool card. And what this does is it gives that Pokemon protection from Mega Evolutions. However, you do have to discard Klefki at the end of your turn. This is beautiful because if you are going up against a Mega deck, you have that ability to stall out their turn and then get an additional Pokemon into your discard pile. It also has Fairy Wind for 1 fairy, 1 colorless, 30 damage, but we'll never use it. Next up is Zebstrika, 100 HP electric Pokemon, Stage 1 with Zap Zone. Damage from the attacks of your lightning Pokemon isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active. Crushing Bolt, 2 colorless, 50 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any fighting resistance, its attack does 60 more damage. This is your big counter to Rayquaza or anything with pretty much anything that's like a flying type. So if they resist you, if they have a fighting resistance, you're going to do a ton of damage. And I mean 110 damage is almost going to knock out a Rayquaza due to super effective as well. So there you go. You got. Actually, it does knock it out. I might be lying. I might be wrong on my HP counts for Mega Rayquaza. But either way, Zebstrika, very good. And again, that double colorless energy is clutch. It doesn't hurt to drop 1 down, and then later on we'll have stuff to get that energy back. Next up is Mew EX, 120 HP, a little bit more bulky than Vespiquen, and with the Versailles ability, we'll be able to use Vespiquen's attacks. This means we technically have a 5th Vespiquen. This means if we're going up against a counter deck of a Vespiquen versus Vespiquen, we have the advantage regardless of what goes on because we do have that additional attacker. Now, yes, technically speaking, Mew is going to grant them 2 prizes, but it's not bad. It also has the ability to go off in the sense of it can use Zebstrika's attacks against Psychic-type Pokemon that are weak to it. We can use all sorts of things that my opponent has. Mew's always been a fantastic attacker. So there we go, one of them. Next up, we have a 1-in-1 line for the Garbodor, 100 HP Psychic type Pokemon Stage 1 with Garbotoxins. If this Pokemon has a Pokemon tool card attached to it, each Pokemon in play, in hand, and in discard pile have no abilities. It also has Offensive Bomb, 1 Psychic, 3 colorless, 60 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is not confused and poisoned, but we're not going to use it. We have 4 unknown, very staple card in Vespiquen because this card does give us additional damage each time we get rid of one. So unknown, 60 damage or 60 HP, Psychic type Pokemon basic with Farewell Letter. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard this Pokemon, all cards attached to it. It does not count as a knockout, and you can draw a card afterwards. So beautiful card. It also has hidden power for 10 1 colorless energy, but we'll never use it. Now, my good friend Dylan Bryan did not think that Shaman alone was the best draw engine, and he ran 2 Octillery, 90 HP Water-type Pokemon Stage 1 with Abyssal Hand. Once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 5 in hand. You also have Hug, 2 Water, 1 colorless, 40 damage, but we're not going to be using it. One thing I like about Abyssal Hand over Shaman is it's consistent. As long as Octillery is on your bench, you can use it. The only downside, though, is if you're going to run your Garbodor, make sure your Octillery has already been used or is already in the discard pile, because you're not going to be able to use it again. Alright, so that is our major lineup of Pokemon, and what a doozy it was. But here we go into the trainer supports. We have 4 Acrobikes, which is another staple. You use this over Trainer's Mail in this one because you can get rid of a card, and usually it's going to be a Pokemon if you have to. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 in your hand, 1 in the discard pile. You have the Buddy Buddy Rescue. Each player puts a Pokemon from his or her discard pile into their hand. Beautiful card. We also have the Revitalizer. Put 2 grass Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. This is strictly for Vespiquen Combi. This way we can get 1 full line right back instantly, giving us technically like that 6th attacker. So we always will have Vespiquens going for us. That's the idea here. We have the special charge to shuffle 2 special energy cards from your discard pile back into your deck. This gets us our double colorless energy back, because as you can see, that's really the only energy we do need. We've got the 4 Ultra Balls, the golden balls of all of them. Discard 2 cards from your hand, and then draw a Pokemon. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, love it. We have 3 VS Seekers, because let's be honest here in Vespiquen, we don't need the supporters as much, because we are going to be shuffling our hand, ditching Pokemon, doing all sorts of stuff. The VS Seeker support isn't there, because we really need the Pokemon in the discard pile for once. Next up is our stadium of choice, and that is going to be 1 Faded Town. At any time during between turns, put 2 damage counters on each Mega Evolution Pokemon. So, I guess this is just something to counter the stadium war. Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with Faded Town, but because usually you'd run more than 1. But Faded Town will definitely stop the good old Mega Evolutions that are currently in Standard, like Mega Gardevoir, Mega Rayquaza, any of those kind of things. So again, there's your knockouts right there. Next up is the Lysander. Switch to your opponent's benched Pokemon with their active. I don't know why I always say that. It's always one of their active. I'm like, they only have 1 active. There is no double battle in TCG. But TPCI better get an idea on that one, because I think that would be a really cool format too. We could easily stray from just 1 format for Pokemon. Next up is the N. Each player shuffles his or her hand back into their deck and then draw cards equal to the amount of remaining prizes they have. Very good card, very good for disruption, very good for early game draw. Just an all around really good card. Next up is the Olympia. Switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench. If you do, heal 30 damage from that Pokemon you move to your bench. The likelihood is we're not going to be healing too much. We're going to try and get rid of that good old Garbodor in the front, or the Shaman in the front, or whatever we don't want in the front to get that Vespiquen Mew, or even this Abstrika out in the front. Next up, we have 4 Sycamore. Discard your hand, draw 7 cards. Beautiful, simple, and effective. Next up is our 2 tool cards, one being a Floatstone. 1 single Floatstone is in this deck. The Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost. You usually use it on your Garbodors or your Artilleries. Again, we have the Olympia, so we can easily via Seeker back into it. It depends on our situations a lot. Usually I'm just going to let the Garbodor or the Octillery go down, because we do want more Pokemon in the discard. We also have a Lucky Helmet. When this Pokemon We also have Lucky Helmet. When the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active and is damaged, you actually get to draw 2 additional cards, which keeps our card draw engine pretty smooth. And lastly, of course, we have 4 double colorless energy, which may not seem like a lot of energy, but thanks to the the special charge, we'll be able to potentially get a full line of these back, which, if used properly, can get us 8 double colorless energy. But that is it. That is the deck that Dylan and Bryan helmed to 2nd place in Athens. Now the question is, can I run it properly? I don't know. I'm an alright TCG player, but I may not be able to run this thing as well as I did yet last video, which if you guys didn't check out Turbo Darkrai, I heavily recommend doing so. Go take a quick gander at what actually won 1st place in Athens, and now for 2nd place. Here we go in Pokemon TCG Online. And here we go, first matchup today, and it's against Nico Dark playing a Steel deck. Hope he's ready, because we're going to come all at him with the might of Vespiquen. Too bad I don't have a Vespiquen coin, else I'd use it, but I am going to use the Beedrill. We're going to go Tails. There we go, we're going to lose the coin flip right off the bat. I hope that's not an omen, but Nico Dark is going to be able to decide if she wants to go 1st or 2nd. I do apologize for the squeal there, my voice is still pretty early in the morning. Pretty early in the morning? It's pretty just darn early in the morning. Alright, so we're going to leave that Remoraid, because he's such a big target. I don't even mind if he goes down, but we do not have any additional cards. We're going to have 2 unknowns in the back. We're going to see Beldums. And a Lucky Helmet. Are we draw gross in today's standard? Seriously? Well, I can drop the Faded Town. I can easily go for the... You know what? Let's not get too over hasty here. I'm going to just drop my unknowns. Okay, another Remoraid, which I'm just going to replace the unknown with. Beautiful. Because again, I'm alright if the first one goes down. I only really need 1. And we get another Vespiquen, which I really don't need. So, I am going to go for the end this time, because I don't need any of the other cards. This is actually going to benefit him in this particular instance. But, all in all, I'm in pretty good shape here. I can just drop a double colorless energy down onto the Combi, and that is going to be the turn. And if you guys do hear the vibrating on my phone, I do apologize. I'm going to move it over here, so you guys don't hear that part. We're going to see a level ball hit up the Metang. She's actually going to go for full evolution line right here. Bam! That's your Metang. And if they drop an energy... No, they're going to go for the Scorching... They have fighting energy in there? Scorched Earth. I swear the game told me it's a straight up Steel deck. Either way, 2 Metangs now, a little worried. Fighting energy onto the Metang, and it's got a Magearna in the back, so it's not a typical draw energy. I don't know how we're going to play this, but we're going to see. We have the Mew EX in the back now. We have the good old Octillery here, and I just want to switch that good old Magearna out. I haven't really got much else I can do. I'm going to put the Vespiquen down, and now I can actually draw a huge amount of cards. 4 cards, there we go. Octillery, the man. I'm going to drop my Combi down. I'm going to drop my good old Klefki down, and I know my opponent's not playing Megas at this moment in time, so I could easily just Wonderlock, attach it to the Remoraid, and if it does go down, I can technically get a nice additional run here. Actually, I am going to opt to evolve this one. And that's just simply to get more cards. Why not? We get another Combi, which is pretty cool. And I apologize for my throat. I don't know what's going on with my throat today. Yeah, I'll play it. And that will be my turn. But I have the Olympia in back, so I can start actually doing some damage next turn and potentially take out the Magearna. We are trying to stall out a little bit, but we only have 2 unknowns in the back, so we do not have a massive amount of damage. Now, it is the Draw a Gross Metagross, so we are going to probably see my opponent retreat here. Or go for Soul Blaster, which is just weird. No, they literally just stay in. Okay, I've got some thinking here. My opponent doesn't have too many cards in hand, so I have to make sure that Via Seeker is in clutch form. I really don't need to use the Olympia right now. I might actually just opt to sacrifice my Zebstrika and the Buddy because I do want to keep the Olympia in back, and I am going to get myself a Vespiquen. This way I can kind of set up a little bit more. We'll go with one good old Abyssal... Whoa, that was a misclick. We'll go with one more Abyssal Spectre here. Get a few more cards into the hand, and it's going to be the Unknown and an N. I do not want to use that N right now, so I'm actually just going to bypass this turn. Like I said, I do have the ability to do more damage, but I need to get more Pokemon in the discard pile. And we're currently at 4, so we'll be doing a whopping, what? 60 damage? Not worth it. Not worth it. He does retreat. She does retreat into the Magearna, and she's just going to go for a Machine Stomp, which is exactly what I wanted her to do, but she's not doing enough damage because of N support. I'll state this right now. It's not a good idea. I'm actually just going to let the Octillery go down at this point. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, get rid of the Unknown in my hand and the Olympia, because I don't really need it at this moment in time anyway. And we are going to go with another Vespiquen drop. This way I get a few more Pokemon into the discard pile, and at 150 HP, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, still not enough. We're going to evolve that guy there, go with the Abyssal Hand. I'm going to draw a ton of cards by the end of this episode. We have a full line of Garbodor, Rattata. Kind of wish I could play the Rattata. Maybe I misplayed. But we'll be able to once the Octillery goes down next turn, and I'll be able to get rid of that Lucky Helmet. Now, in all sense and purposes, so my opponent plays a tier, not trying to keep his card draw at a nice minimum here. He'll be able to do a lot more damage thanks to that through Machine Gun Stomp. It does what, like 20 damage for... It does 10 more damage for each good old card in their hand. So they're like us, we are going to be scaling through our discarded pile. Our opponent is going to be scaling thanks to the good old card hand. And now they're only going to be able to do what? 70 damage? It's enough to knock out my Octillery, but not enough to really do much else. At this point, I do just want to play up a Vespiquen. Now, we do have free retreat, so I'll be putting up my non-setup one right now until I figure out what we have in the back. Now, I do want to play my Rat. We are going to get rid of the active Lucky Helmet. And at this point, I think I am safe to go for the end, because I do not need the cards in my hand. We can just safely put them back in. We do not have much of a resource here, but I do have the Professor Sycamore for the following turn, and I am actually just going to retreat and let him eat my Rat. I'm alright with this. I'm not at a negative here, and I'm just trying to get some Pokemon in the discard pile anyway. So by doing so, if she doesn't end me this next turn, I'll be able to go for a Sycamore, get 4 more Pokemon into the discard pile, and really start hammering at this team's deck. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to be like 1 shy. We need 1 more Pokemon. We'll need like 1 more Pokemon to go. We see the Evisoda, so my opponent is going to evolve that other Metagross into another Railgunner. We see the Max Elixir onto the Magearna, so this gives it a good old Soul Blaster. Definitely trying to set it up as well, which is a little weird. I've never played against that. But we're going to see the Rat go down. And I am going to go up with my Vespiquen this time that can actually attack. Now, we have another Sycamore, which is not really what we wanted. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get rid of these cards, which is fine. We have some special charges. A Klefki. We can go for some Acrobikes. Maybe this will get us a Pokemon, and it does. I'm going to take the Double Colorless Energy, and the Trubbish is actually going to make it a little easier to take this deck out. We're going to drop that right on the Mew. It gives us opportunities here. I can go for another... We'll drop a Lucky Helmet down onto our Vespiquen as we go for an Acrobike ourselves, and I just get 2 Acrobikes. So I get 1 more Acrobike, 1 gets ditched. That's kind of awkward. We're just going to go with another... I have to be very careful here. I don't want either one, but I will take the Vespiquen. I gotta be very careful. I only have 7 cards left in the deck, and I did just attach a Lucky Helmet to my Vespiquen. So, I gotta be very careful on my cards. We're gonna go for the Wonderlock. Oh, it cannot go on that? Well, we'll go over here. Does not matter. I just want to hit the discard pile at this point. We're gonna go for the Be Revenge. It's going to eliminate this good old Metagross. We have 1 prize. Hey. Now we're in a good position here as we can take both of these Pokemon out now without any real issue. And again, we're going to be taking prize for prize. So my opponent might be able to lose out here, but I'll be able to take out the Magearna EX, and they don't have a whole lot of other Pokemon. So they do have a Beldum. We need to see, did I get rid of all my VS Seekers? I don't think so. I haven't gotten rid of 1 yet. So somehow, some way, some form, I've gone through the entire deck and now technically drawn a single... I've drawn one, but I have not actually used a single one. So there, unfortunately, goes that. And we do have the good old VS Seekers, so I'll be able to go for my N is what I'm going to probably go for here. Which is going to reduce my opponent's damage, making him pretty much unreliable. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually special charge, put that double colorless energy back into the deck. We're going to go for an N. And this will shuffle a lot of my cards back into the deck too. Because I will draw 5, but it will make me a little... It'll make me live a little bit longer. And again, it's going to reduce my opponent's hand size down to 3. Metagross is not even going to be able to take out my Vespiquen at this point. And we're going to be able to just go boop. And here we go, Be Revenge. We're going to take out this Metagross, no problem. 190 damage! We're going to take this middle card here. It is a Sycamore. I do not need to use it. Up comes the Magearna. Now, I do want to take out both of these things. I'm more threatened by... Well, the Magearna's set up, so maybe it's the bigger threat. But Vespiquen is going to go down here. I have to be very careful, actually, because if he sets that one up, I don't have any way of really attacking it. Oh, jeez. I might have lost this match. I may have lost this match. Not gonna lie. Worried about card draw, but I don't see... If my opponent does get that Metagross in the back, I don't see me winning this. Go for a nice Be Revenge, 210. We're going to take 2 prizes here. Our hand size is going to be fantastic. Actually, that might be what gets us, is if I can draw additional cards. Because Mew also will be able to use the Machine Gun Hammer. Or Machine Gun Stomp, I guess it is. She does evolve it. Now, it's only going to do, what, 60 damage? Unless she can draw more cards. So I don't... Ooh, there's the Fisherman. That's going to put a mark on me. And you got 150 HP? Yeah, Mew, I'm sorry. You may not be able to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to be an interesting matchup, that is for sure. I did not expect to lose to a Metagross here. Not with N. Aggron! Max Elixir. This is a misplay by playing all your cards. So you can't kill me now. You can't knock me out. You haven't got the energy to knock me out, is what happened. You don't have the energy to take me out. And I have the Lysander in the back to actually eat your Aggron. You might have just given me... You just gave me the game! By not going for that Machine Gun Stomp, you actually just gave me the game. Guys, please, when you're playing games like this... Again, no offense to Nico Dark, because she is playing a deck that is very heavily hurt because of N now. But she gave me a target, which is exactly what I'm going to lead on. I'm going to take that target. I'm at 2 prizes just like her. she could have targeted my Mew at any time in this game and easily eaten it. But with that being said, I'm now able to go for the Be Revenge. I'm actually just going to go for the... Oh, I've already licensed her. Never mind. But I can just go for the Be Revenge. 210 damage. I actually take this game. Instead of her putting that card on the Machine Stomp, I don't know if she would have been able to knock me out, but if she knocked out my Vespiquen, I was done. I could not take her Pokemon out. So, I don't know the situation. It could have been based on her hand and all that kind of stuff, but definitely don't need to run Machine... I've lost my train of thought. Mid-sentence. I hate doing that. Metagross, that particular card, has lost a ton of power due to the fact that N is in play now. Same goes for Noctowl. I loved Noctowl back in the day. It was a sweeper by far, and with N, it destroys them. So, needless to say, that is our first match of the day. I'll be back with round number 2. See if we can get a little bit more competitive, because Metagross is just something I wanted to showcase. We don't see it very often anymore. But with that, let's move on. And here we are for our second match. We are going up against Gabrez. I apologize if I mispronounced that. It looks like I got it right. But they are playing a water deck. So we're going to see if we can actually come up with this one, because we will, depending on the water Pokemon, have type effectiveness, which is kind of cool. Don't usually see that often too much. I'm interested to see what my opponent plays, because water is one of those elusive ones where you really don't know. So we are going to have a ton of Pokemon we can go with here. A lot of stuff we can actually just outright eliminate, which is very, very good. Like, we can get the Klefki onto an unknown, ditch the unknown. Both cards are going to go to the discard pile. I have to be careful on what my opponent actually is playing, though, because if I do need the Klefkis, I don't want to use them all that early. Now, I'm going to be able to go first here, so it's not going to matter that I accidentally just clicked the no bench space. Whoops. We're going to see it's a Feroki deck. It's a Feroki deck. Feroki. He's going to knock out my Combi. He's going to knock out my Combi. That's not good. We're going to set this good old Klefki up. We're going to ditch this. We're going to go up against Greninja Break is what we're happening here, guys. And we're going to just opt to get rid of the unknown here. Both Pokemon hit the ditch. Hit the ditch. Don't need them. We have the Mew, which is kind of cool. I can kind of play that one with a little bit more security. I am going to probably lose my first Combi here. Not a big deal. I am going to set up the double colorless energy on the Mew, and I do want to set up the Klefki onto the Combi, as I do know my opponent does not have Megas, especially if they're playing the right one I'm thinking of. I'm going to just let the Klefki go down with the Combi, and that'll be more Pokemon in the ditch. My Vespiquen can easily just go back into the deck. Actually just came back to me. I do have a Revitalizer, and at this point I do kind of want to ditch my Zebstrika. As the best idea to get rid of. It's a good idea to get rid of the Gardevoir. So we're just trying to get rid of some Pokemon here. We're gonna get a Combi out. It'll be okay. We're not out of this yet. Barely first turn, and we're gonna have a ton of Pokemon in the ditch. We'll go for an Acrobike, and we'll get the Ultra Ball. Why not? Why not? I can't use it. Turn's done. My opponent is going to be able to take me out with the Arrow Ball, or the Arrow Blitz, I apologize. We do see the Rough Seas, so my opponent can heal. Not going to matter too much, because Feroki is weak to grass. We are going to see an end most likely this turn, because that is what my opponent did draw. Definitely needs to drop a Water Energy onto the Talonflame. Goes for the Bursting Balloon, which is a good play, very good play. It forces my opponent not to be able to do... It forces me not to be able to do too much damage. And we did not get that good old Vespiquen that I was hoping to get. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon already in the ditch. And they did not actually get the opportunity to attack, which is a problem for them. Now, I am going to be able to go for the Floatstone onto the Remoraid. Problem here is I did not get much. I did not get much. I got so many things that I want to do with this hand, but I can't. I can't get Mew in. So I will have to ditch this hand. 2 more cards, though, to the ditch will be fine. Vespiquen's damage output is getting higher, and now we have the artillery, so we're alright. We can actually drop this one onto our active one. And I don't have a problem if I lose 1 Vespiquen. We'll just put this guy up here, get a ditch. An additional card. Is it the Ultra Ball that we're looking for? No. We have what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're not quite there yet. And we haven't got the energy anyway. We do need to play the Lucky Helmet. We can play down the Combi. And I don't actually need the Blitzel, so I'm just going to drop it too. But we'll go for the Abyssal Hand here. Hoping to get some more cards, maybe an Ultra Ball. There's the Ultra Ball. That's going to hurt because I have to get rid of my Vespiquen. That was an unfortunate turn of events there, because I'm looking for a double colorless energy. I can sacrifice my Mew. We're currently at 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's not enough. It's not enough. Did I just put you up in the active spot? I'm gonna pass. I could have gotten a couple more cards. I misplayed there. Like I said, I'm not going to helm this one perfectly. I didn't create it. So, unfortunately, there are going to be a few cards here that I'm not going to be perfect with. Now, the Talonflame does have free retreat, so if my opponent does want to come in with the Water Energy on the Frogadier, he can do that. It does not need to use the Talonflame in any way, shape, or form. It is going to probably end me, though. Bursting Balloon onto the Frogadier. I'm not threatened by that one. If I can get that out of there, I will. I want to get Frogadiers and Froakies and all that kind of good stuff out of the deck ASAP. So up comes the Frogadier. Fortunately, we're just going to see the water duplicates. I will not be able to play the Rat. I think I played too fast for this deck. We do see 2 Frogadiers hit the bench, which is a problem. We see the Faded Town, which I'm going to use to cancel out the Rough Seas, just because I can. We're going to drop a double colorless energy onto my Vespiquen in the back, drop the Vespiquen down. Who wants to take it? Have I lost any special charges? That's a key one here. No, I have not. So that's something I can keep note of. I kind of want to ditch that water energy, though. He's had to keep it on there. We can easily do that. And we're just going to go for the Bee Revenge. We'll take this one out. I don't have a problem taking 60. I'm going to lose Mew eventually anyway. And this is going to be one additional prize that I didn't have to worry about earlier. This could be a very big misplay. Keep that in mind. I could have switched out, gone to my Vespiquen, taken the damage on the Vespiquen, and it's fine because it's just fragile. This could be a very big misplay. We are going to see the Ace Trainer, which is going to drop me down to 3 cards. My opponent actually is playing it very perfectly. Knowing that in Frogadier, or in Greninja, you're usually going to be at a prize deficit, but I do get the special charge. I'm going to see my opponent get the Rough Seas, which is a problem, but it's not going to matter too much because we're going to outdamage my opponent. Now, if he did not get a Greninja, we're safe. He is going to safely retreat here. We're going to see the Bursting Balloon, but I do have Lysander in the back. That's exactly what we're going to go for. Because I want to eat those Frogadiers as fast as I can. Maybe this Mew play wasn't that bad of an idea. We're going to just eat you alive because I don't want that Bursting Balloon damage. No. We will go for the additional card draw from the Abyssal Hand, see if we can get anything good. We got an Unknown and we got a Vespiquen. Well, Vespiquen can evolve. And with that, we're going to eat our second Frogadier. This doesn't happen very often. At least I don't think. We are now at an Ultra Ball level. We have the ability to get rid of 2 more cards. We're doing 100 damage. Not quite enough to knock out Talonflame yet. Water Energy does hit. There's a... Why would you attach the Water Energy now? When I can easily just either end or do all these other things. My opponent is going to get the Shadow Stitching Greninja right now. It's going to definitely evolve it, but I do have that Vespiquen in back. Hopefully I can use the Ultra Ball. Actually, if he gets rid of my Mew now, it'd be okay. No, doesn't get rid of my Mew. I've got way too much HP. Way too much HP to be knocked out. Now, if I switch, I can take out the Greninja. Because we have, what? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then super effective. I think we're okay. I think that's the plan I'm going to do. Because I'm not worried about Talonflame. And I'll have already eliminated, what? At this point, 3? So he did... Okay. So we just go for a Vespiquen. Go for the Lysander. And we're going to put a lot of pressure because we're going to take out this Greninja. And we are going to just easily switch, retreat into Vespiquen. Yes, we'll drop the double colorless energy because we have to. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that because I can just put it right back into the deck. Oh, there it goes, back in. And there's the victory against Greninja! We are stalling our opponent out. We got a little lucky, not gonna lie there. With the Talonflame in the lead there, couldn't do a lot of damage, but we also had to be very careful on our original Combi because they could knock it out. No problem there. We got lucky that they didn't have energy, and then each Frogadier, we were able to just one-shot, and then when we were able to Lysander the Greninja up, it was game over. Because my opponent only had one Frogadier left to evolve the two Froakies, and the likelihood of him getting it, well, he had Talonflame. But with that also being said, we had other Vespiquens, and we could take out the Froakies as well. So I don't know how it would have gone further than that if the match continued. I really do think we had that one in the bag, especially with all the setup mons we did have. But that is Dylan Bryan's deck. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think his Vespiquen variant is superior to all others? Or do you think you could do better? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you have a better build? Or is this the best thing we're going to see from Vespiquen now that Sun and Moon is about to come out? But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm getting out of here. I'll catch you guys on Saturday with something brand new from me. Well, not from me, but you'll see what I mean on Saturday. But until then, time out.